What's going on, guys? So this is a really important topic, and I wanted to cover this because most of my audience are males. And there's a lot of rhetoric going around today about women and men. And it's important that we have an understanding about really what's going on. And I think that the reason I'm, Courtney Ryan, so she's covering this and wanted you guys to see it from a woman's perspective too, and about this particular situation. Okay. Because this article is basically in a sense blaming men for their own loneliness issues. Okay. That's sort of how it's coming across. I've seen a couple other videos about it, but I really wanted to cover it on my channel. Because again, this is something that you guys are going to have to deal with going forward. And there is a lot of programming, right, that is being put out there to women in the idea of, oh, you're all tens, you're all perfect, you're all this, you have nothing to work on, right? So it's important to understand that as a man going forward, you have certain things that you have to worry about and see. So I want you guys to jump over, and in the description box, you'll see my Red Pill channel. And on that channel right now, I have certain video topics, and I'm going to cover more improvement topics because both of those are starting to get more traction. So you guys can see more stuff like this there because a lot of my audience asked for it for a long time. And I know a lot of you guys are dealing with breakups. So when you guys go over there, look, even if you don't get your ex back, right? Because that's what a lot of you guys are here for. If you guys don't get that, okay, that you're going to have to go back out into the dating world. Most of you guys, a lot of you guys, you might align with Red Pill, and you guys might even be going MGTOW. But there's going to be a point where you're going to, not all of you, but some of you guys are going to decide maybe I can date again. Okay. Not many of you guys are going to stop dating permanently. Maybe now, maybe you might, but I want you guys to see this. So it's going to be a long video. Strap in, hang on. And I'm going to, interject, of course, like I usually do. But it's important, okay? Because to me, men's mental health is important. And, the banning of Andrew Tate, for example, I think censorship is wrong, right? Silencing people. I mean, if you're silencing somebody, you must be afraid of what that person's saying or trying to say. Of course, if somebody's being racist or whatever, they're saying he's misogynistic, right? And I watched a lot of his content, and I don't think that's the case. But you can see where a lot of that is going to lead in terms of where we're going as a society. And I'm telling you, the more high profile people get canceled, right? The more people are going to go, why are you canceling this person? Especially when Andrew Tate spoke to, right? I'm nodding to him with the sunglasses on. Do I agree with, by the way, anybody who watches me, do I agree with everything he says? No. But what I heavily fuck with is the idea of working on yourself. You guys know that. He told people, work on yourselves. It's hard to be a man. Get your shit together. Wake up. Get outside of the matrix. I do exactly that. Okay. I have my business. My business affords me to have freedoms to do whatever the fuck I want every day. I know many of you guys want that same freedom. That's exactly what he's preaching. I'm with one girl. I don't need, but here's the thing. If he wants to live his life that way, I don't give a fuck. And you guys, like, a lot of people are like, oh, he's like a sex trafficker. Bro, like, where's the evidence of this? Right? Because that was all disproven. Anyway, that's a whole other video. So, we're going to sit here and guys, I'm always on the side of men, right? Now, again, I'm not against women. I love women. Okay. I'm with a woman. All right. Now, but right now, with the way that men are being shamed, with the way that men are being put down, told they're useless, told men ain't shit like that, with the way that that's going around, I'm against that. Okay, because the very thing that feminism, the word is supposed to mean is equal rights and opportunities for all. And somewhere along the lines, a lot of them turned that into man hating, and I'm not down for that. A lot of the shit that women are saying, if a man said it, it'd be considered, again, misogynistic or sexist, right? So anyway, let's get into the video. I've been babbling on for 5 minutes already, so let's go.
Welcome back to my channel. If you're new,
Shit. Let's see if I hope this works. I have to switch the sound. There we go.
here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today we're going to tackle the subject of the rise of lonely single men. So this article just came out recently from Psychology Today, and I have seen it all over TikTok. Of course, I have to take a look at it as someone who talks about men's issues on YouTube, and I've also covered this subject before. A few months ago, I made a video about male loneliness and really just talking about the subject in general, why men are lonely, what is taking place in our society that's causing men to be lonely, along with some helpful suggestions for anyone who maybe felt like they needed it. I'm obviously a woman. I don't know what it's like to be a lonely man. I will never claim to know what that's like because I simply don't.
And guys, for anybody watching, I've personally never had a problem with loneliness, personally, right? I've always been able to have a girlfriend, but I've probably felt lonely maybe 2 or 3 times in my life, right? And that's when I was in between relationships. But here's the thing, like I've been in a relationship almost all my life. Like I had stretches when I was being, when I was, going around and just talking to a lot of girls and just being that. But again, I know people personally in real life that have issues with girls. So again, I want to help bring this forward to some of my audience members.
That's just obvious. So I came across this article because a lot of people were reacting to it and talking about it over on TikTok. And to my surprise, mostly women were talking about it and basically just blaming men for everything per usual. The title of the article is The Rise of Lonely Single Men, and I decided to do a little bit of digging.
And again, that was on Psychology Today. So if you guys want to go check the article out, go look it up.
And I stumbled across another article that was kind of in response to the original article that is titled, Straight Men, If You Want to Find Love, You'll Need to Do Better. Let's talk about it. So first, what I want to do is take a look at the original article from Psychology Today and basically just kind of go through it, gather our information, and then go to the other article that I found. So this says, dating opportunities for heterosexual men are diminishing as relationship standards rise. Men represent approximately 62% of dating app users, lowering their chances for matches. That's nothing new. We knew that. If you are struggling with dating apps, there you go. That's just another one of the million reasons why it's impossible. Men need to address skills deficits to meet healthier relationship expectations. Younger and middle-aged men are the loneliest they've ever been in generations, and it's probably going to get worse. Over the last
up to this point, because I've seen parts of this already, I was like, what about, like, I know where you guys are going mentally already. Like, what about the chicks? What about the women? Why is this targeted just at men? Why is it that men are the ones that always have to get better? Because I know plenty of women that can't communicate worth a damn, right? They immediately go into a shell, run away. Oh, there's a problem. I can't handle this, right? I know tons of women that are like that. I've been with women that are like that. Okay, so I know where you guys are going. Just continue. Trust me.
Last 30 years, men have become a larger portion of that growing group of long-term single people. And while you don't actually need to be in a relationship to be happy, men typically are happier and healthier when partnered. Here are 3 broad trends in the relationship landscape that suggest heterosexual men are in for a rough road ahead. And then it goes to say dating apps, relationship standards, and skills deficits. Dating apps, we already know that. I'm not going to go into it because it's just completely skewed to be easier for women, and women have way more options and matches on there than men do. So they have an influx of options and therefore think they have more options, and they all pretty much are going after the same group of men. So that's nothing new. Relationship standards, it says, with so many options, it's not surprising that women are increasingly selective. I hear recurring dating themes from women between the ages of 25 and 45. They prefer men who are emotionally available, good communicators, and share similar values. And that sounds good and dandy. That's like the bare minimum of what you should be looking for. Someone who is emotionally available, someone who's a good communicator, and someone who shares similar values to you. That's like a no-brainer. That's what every healthy relationship should be founded on, right? And I'm gonna get more into that when I go over the other article. And then skills deficits. For men, this means a relationship skills gap that, if not addressed, will likely lead to fewer dating opportunities, less patience for poor communication skills, and longer periods of being single. The problem for men is that emotional connection is the lifeblood of healthy long-term love. Emotional connection requires all the skills that families are still not consistently teaching their young boys. Talks about leveling up your mental health game, going to therapy. It means seeing intimacy, romance, and emotional connection as worthy of your time and effort. That I agree with. Ultimately, we have an opportunity to revolutionize romantic relationships and establish new healthy norms, starting with a first date. It's likely that some of these romances will be transformative and healing, disrupting generational trauma and establishing a fresh culture of admiration and validation. Men have a key role in this transformation, but only if they go all in. It's going to take that kind of commitment to themselves, to their own mental health, and to the kind of love they want to generate in this world. Will we step up? And I do think that there are a lot of men out there who are not putting in the effort, who aren't even showing up for themselves or putting in the effort in themselves. So why would someone else want to date you, right? I think there are a lot of people who play the victim and like to point fingers. However, I don't think that some of the responses to this article even began to consider the role that women play in this as well.
I agree. So let me just say, I've been coaching dudes for the past 4 years. And I will say most of the guys that come to me are dealing with complacency issues. Okay. I would have a bag full of money if I collected $1 for every time somebody said, hey, Kyle, this is how much of weight I've lost since the breakup. I'm back with my friends. I'm hanging out with my friends more. I'm seeing my family more. I'm working on this business. I'm focused on my mission now. And it's like, why weren't you doing this when you were in a relationship? Right now, of course, pain is the greatest teacher. It will teach you how, you should start conducting yourself. It will teach you. And then then it's your choice to stay there. Right. So one of the first things I talk about is, okay, what's your mission? What are you trying to do? What are you waking up to do? And most guys don't know what that is. So I said, okay, well, like, I think right now you should start some sort of side hustle to focus on every single day. Don't take a day off. Also, don't take a day off in the gym. I don't give a fuck about the whole idea of overtraining. Okay, just go there. I don't give a fuck what it is. Do cardio for 2 days. I don't care. Just go there every single day. 45 minutes, and then for 2 to 3 hours, work on your side hustle and go back to work, right? Then you're doing something every day to advance yourself, to move the needle forward. And what happens is, guys, the compound effect starts kicking in, especially when you get onto blogging and into Google stuff. And SEO is really what I'm telling the guys to do, because you start growing something that you're helping people. See, with YouTube works that way. Okay. YouTube is a different beast in the idea of, yes, you have to be good at creating videos and you have to give your audience what they want, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why I have sort of a red pill channel, I guess, because I want to do more newsy stuff there. Like, oh my God, check out what this person did. And of course, just say, look, guys, stay away from that. You know what I mean? Like that's what that channel is going to be more about. Stay away from this. This is the toxic world that, and of course it's slightly entertaining, more entertaining. But guys, that complacency is why so many of you are even dealing with the breakup in the first place. Okay. Coupled with the way modern dating is and the shit that's going around today, it is very difficult for men to sustain the attraction, because women are dealing with far less bullshit than they used to. Because out in the world, that's what the world is telling them, right? And B, they have people around them that will say, hey, you don't have to deal with that, right? You don't have to deal with that. And when you keep hearing the same thing from a bunch of different sources and people, you're gonna start actually questioning, he did make me feel like this, so maybe they're right. And that's how it begins. So men, I'm telling you, just like Andrew Tate told you, just like Darius tells you, just like all of these guys tell you, you have to improve. You have to do the work. Rich Cooper, of course, tells you, do the work, put the work in, do it every single day. Don't take a day off, crush it, do your best. Right? And actually have some sort of direction. Jordan Peterson talks about this too. Aim. Okay? Take an aim somewhere, because eventually you're going to get there. Like, I know tons of guys that are in my coaching that fucking sit home and literally game all day and smoke all kinds of weed, bro. Holy fuck. They smoke so much. And I'm like, okay, I get it, but what have you done today to advance yourself? And they're like, oh, nobody wants to date me. You know what I mean? So I know this video is going to be long, by the way, so.
This article even began to consider the role that women play in this as well. Because when you hear from the outside that the top 3 things that women are looking for are someone who's emotionally available, great, good communicator, great again, and share similar values, triple threat, great. But sadly, that's not what a lot of women are looking for. They're looking for maybe those 3 things and a checklist of a million other things,
right,
that are sometimes a little bit unrealistic. And I think it's important to talk about that too. Because it takes 2 to tango, right? I've seen so many videos on TikTok about icks and the way that a man is standing in a photo and the way that he's scooting into a booth and really just writing men off for the dumbest, stupidest, smallest little things, minuscule things that are so irrelevant in the grand scheme of things if the guy is emotionally available, a good communicator, and shares similar values to you. But they're writing men off because of these little things that don't matter and don't make any sense. And we have a whole generation of young people that are just perpetuating this cycle of, oh yeah, now I care about that with the guy I'm dating. Now I'm noticing all these icks about him, the way he chooses food, the way he holds his fork. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So
this goes into the idea of what you're listening to and what rhetoric is around you. I hope that's the right term. Can influence what you're thinking. If you're around toxic people, you're going to be the next toxic person, right? So the whole idea of the next 5 people you spend are going to be, you're going to be that next person, whatever it is. If it's successful, you'll be the next successful person because you're going to match that energy. You're going to put out the same kind of, that's why you have to surround yourself with high value people. If you have negative people that just drag you down and are anchors. So for any women that might be watching this, look inside your phone and say, is this girl that I'm talking to, like a friend of yours, does this person really have my best interest at heart? Are they projecting what their life is like and what men they choose to date onto me? And they try to give me advice. Everyone wants to give advice, right? Everybody. Fucking everybody wants to give advice. Everyone's so quick to be like, oh, this is what you should do, right? I'm one of them too. But I put it on the internet. You can choose to not watch or if you don't want to, right? So I think, again, guys, at the end of the day, I think it's really important for you guys to check who you are talking to. Women need to do this too.
It's going to take work from both sides, not just men, to make a change in the dating game. But anyways, enough with my rant. Now I'm going to take a look at the other article because just the title, I was like, what is going on? Straight men, if you want to find love, you'll need to do better. I already know how this is going to go. Heterosexual men are seeing fewer dating opportunities because women are demanding higher relationship standards. But as Kate NG says, isn't it time single men rose to the occasion instead of accusing women of being too picky? Yeah, unless you're a woman who's actually being too picky and you need to look at yourself and think, okay, I'm not going to find anyone who's perfect, so clearly I'm being too picky.
On my other channel, it's going to come up soon. There was a girl that wants a $200,000 engagement ring. And she's like, I'm not settling for less. That's exactly what I want. Because there's this other girl at this yoga studio that got a $200,000 engagement ring and it's shined from across the street. And that's the kind of videos I'm covering over there, guys, because you guys need to see how shit is happening and be aware of this. Okay.
It should be no surprise that an article going viral from Psychology Today has found that it is a shift towards healthy relationship standards that poses the biggest hurdle for heterosexual single men right now. The article, titled "The Rise of Lonely Single Men," intended to highlight a growing problem, a 2020 study which found that loneliness is greater in men than women, with young men most vulnerable to becoming lonely. But as one Twitter user pointed out, one of the points in the article is that loneliness has been exacerbated by the diminishing dating opportunities for men as women seek those higher standards. Cue the pylon. Women are increasingly selective because dating apps offer a vast number of options. I hear recurring dating themes from women between the ages of 25 and 45, he wrote. They prefer men who are, again, as I said before, emotionally available, good communicators, and share similar values.
So another thing you guys need to be aware of is 90% Hinge, Bumble, Tinder, the dating apps, of those women that use those filter men out by their height of 6 feet. Okay. Women that are like 5'2", 5'3", 5'1", want men that are 6'5", right? And okay, great, that's fine. But the pool that you're going to be able to choose from is tiny compared to the amount of men that are on there, right? So here's the thing: if it's 90% of women that are filtering that out, they're all dating the same kinds of guys, aren't they? Guys who are players, guys who don't want to commit emotionally, okay? And then there are guys who are 5'11", because they're 5'11", they don't get on your radar over an inch, right?
And then it says, now this criteria hardly sounds impossible to meet. If we boil it down, desiring a partner who can be there for you when you need them and treats you with respect is the barest of the bare minimum. If these are new relationship standards, I dread to think how much lower the bar was before. But if this means that women are finally realizing they deserve better than toxic, narcissistic men, then more power to us. And I just want to state that in no way am I minimizing some of the behavior that I see towards women on social media, even towards myself as a woman on YouTube who makes videos for men. People have said horrible, demeaning, disgusting things to me. So in no way, shape, or form am I trying to say that men don't do those things. But I think it's important to understand that not all men are doing those things. It's a very small percentage of the comments I get, like 1% maybe out of the full 100% of the comments that I get are vile. right? So there's no denying that this is clearly happening online. I see horrible videos, I see horrible comments, even to myself. So trust me when I say I understand that this is taking place. However, I don't believe that it's the majority, and I don't really know if that's the biggest problem that's happening in the dating market right now. And I'm also not going to strictly blame women, because I think, again, it takes two to tango, and men and women are playing a role in the not so great dating climate that's taking place right now. But I do think one of the big issues here is that a lot of women have incredibly unrealistic standards. They're going for the men who are over 6 feet, the men who make 6 figures. Men between the ages of like 20 and 40 that make 6 figures that are above 6 feet is 2%. 2%. So then obviously it would make sense why there are so many single men. And you can say all you want about men needing to step up and men needing to, put more effort in and do whatever, but for a lot of women that just means grow 5 inches, make sure you're above 6 feet, and make more money. It's not necessarily about being more emotionally available or emotionally secure.
Here's what bugs me. Here, on top of all that, a man can say, I don't want to date a woman who's chunky, fat. And everybody wants to light you on fire. But women can be like, oh, if my guy's not 6 feet tall, I'm not dating him. Here's the thing about weight. You can control that shit. I've lost like 25 pounds, something like that. And it's something you can control. I don't get that. Men can't control their height. You put some boots on, gives you an extra 1.5 inches maybe, right? With some big ass boots, right? You can change your money. You can definitely change that. And you can change your style, right? How you look and shit like that. But men can't change much more than that. So what is it? Where is this coming from? Because it's a real big problem, right?
There are so many amazing, incredible, great women out there who care about those 3 things that were mentioned in the Psychology Today article. Being emotionally available, being a good communicator, and sharing similar values. Those are undeniably 3 of the most important things that you should be looking for. If those were the only criteria that we were going off of, then women wouldn't turn their nose up at simps and nice guys, right? What about all the women out there who hold men to the highest standard possible, but then in return hold themselves to incredibly low standards? And I'm really not trying to blame women or men solely for this issue. I love women, I really do. I love men, I really do. That's why I advocate for you. But it's like, come on, you have to at least recognize the role that you play here. Where is the accountability for both sides? I did not see a single TikTok that said anything about women playing a role in this. And I don't think that
if there was, it would be shamed. It would be called misogynistic. It would be called all kinds of bullshit.
Women with crazy unrealistic standards prefer the men who are emotionally available, good communicators, and share similar values. A lot of these girls go after the guys who treat them like crap, who are emotionally unavailable, who can't communicate, who ghost them, who leave them on red and text them at 10 p.m. to come over for a hookup, okay? There are so many women that go after the wrong type of men and then say, well, there's no good men. No men are emotionally available. No men are good communicators. When in reality, you're just going after the wrong ones because you're going after the percentage of men that get all the attention from women, so they feel like they can act however they want and do whatever they want and treat women however they want because they're getting women anyway.
Exactly. So guys, me personally, I had this exact same problem where I was going out with women who were awful, just awful, bad communicators, toxic, angry, just angry. You know what I mean? You guys saw that scale that I always put in all my videos. I should have put it in this video, just like a little small version of it. Angry as fuck, just so mad about everything, right? And I'm just sitting here trying to grind in my life, to going to work, blah, blah, blah. And they just be angry when I talk to them. I'm like, what's wrong? And men being fixers, I was a pleaser at the time, but I tried to fix it. Like, what can I do to fix it? I'll come over, I'll rub your back. I'll try to help you make you feel better. But see, some people out there aren't trying to be better. They're trying to be pissed off. They identify with their anger, right? They identify with it. And see, that's what life will do. Life will continue to bring the same things back to you until you learn from it. And what happened with me is I kept finding women and attracting women that were low quality not looks wise. I loved hot women, right? I still do, but it was never, their personality wasn't jiving, right? So I had to start saying no to those girls. No, I don't so for example, I started talking to one, and after a couple of dates, it went a certain way. Nope, I'm out. And instead of before, I would continue to date them. But next, right? And start finding a better girl. So what ends up happening is you start finding better people because you're starting to weed out what you don't want. Okay, so you start getting, okay, I don't want this anymore. But in order to learn from that, You have to heal from your trauma and issues, because if you don't, you're going to keep attracting those people. And because you crave love so much, you're going to take whatever comes to you. You have to be willing to be alone to get good shit. Okay?
Because you're the ones going after it. Makes sense? It also says the article has gained traction on social media, with many women pointing out that the increase in healthy relationship standards has led to a decrease in dating opportunities for straight men. Taking aim at the criteria listed by women for potential partners, one person said, "The bar for straight men is the literal ground, and they will still tunnel underneath it," another added. "Women just aren't desperate enough to settle for garbage men anymore." But what garbage men means to one woman might mean just that he doesn't make enough money to another woman.
Exactly.
And she feels like she deserves someone who is over 6 feet, who makes all this money and can buy her everything. So I don't know. I don't necessarily think that this is the main cause. I think really what it is social media and this feeling like we have all these options at our fingertips, and women constantly getting validation and attention from men on dating apps and just online in general, and having more people to choose from. They can hand select who they want because they have more options. And most men don't have the luxury of doing that. It's just the way that it's always been. And I think it's been this way for quite some time, but I think it's become even more of a big deal because of social media and dating apps. And there are some things in this article that I do agree with. I do agree that being a good partner means being open with your thoughts, your feelings, and your needs while holding a space for your significant other. And then it says things like, until they stop mansplaining and listen for once. There are a lot of guys who don't do that. Not all guys do that. And then it goes on to talk about Andrew Tate. The straight man's reputation is not helped by people like the Big Brother star and lifestyle influencer Andrew Tate, whose views about women being a man's property are so misogynistic that a charity this week called for TikTok to remove him from the platform. The internet has done a huge disservice to straight young men, many of whom are isolated and told that their singledom has nothing to do with them and everything to do with the wrongness of women.
So again, bringing this part up about Tate, they're like, oh, there are better role models for men. Where? That was one of the biggest things that people kept saying. There are better role models. Where? Who? Right? The reason why he is so in the spotlight, again, like I said, I don't even agree. I agree with like maybe 80% of what he says. And that whole man's property thing, that had to do with if you're in a relationship, if she's in a relationship with you, right? Because he thinks that men should be able to sleep with multiple women, multiple wives. This shit's been in Bibles, guys, right? This is in religion, but he brings that up and people lose their shit. So like, this is nothing new. Okay. Do I live my life like that? No. But like I said, if they don't live the same life as you, leave them the fuck alone and live the life. Take what he has to say and go, and think about it. Use your fucking brain, right? Think about it. Okay, cool. You know what? Right? And then roll with it. And if you apply some of that shit to your life, like I hear people in the comment section of my videos sometimes, I don't like Corey Wayne. He seems cocky, right? Okay, great. Learn from the book and move the fuck on. Okay? See, you can learn shit from people even if you don't like them. See, that's what's wrong with our society today. Everyone's like, I gotta like you in order to learn shit from you. Fuck off. Like, you can learn shit from the worst people on this planet. And still, they might still have certain things about them that made sense he did that. And that's why there are certain people in this world that are way ahead of you. I got to say some shit, and it's going to be a little harsh sometimes, guys, right? Because I've had people, even my own students, that come into my program, and I'm like, hey, if you follow this guy, watch like 10 to 15 videos of this, and then I'll help teach you more because you need the fundamentals. Oh, I don't like the way his voice sounds. I'm like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? You don't like the way? I thought that you wanted to make money. Is there another thing I can watch, dude? I don't like the way his voice sounds. I want to slap you upside the fucking head, bro. Like, bro, that's how people are today. So soft and whiny, right? And that's why dudes like Tate, again, I'm not a fucking Tate dick rider. I'm standing up against the censorship and getting you guys to think. See, I've gotten a lot of comments already just by wearing sunglasses in my videos. Oh, fucking Tate, right? So I'm just letting you guys know that you guys need to think and use your brains. And look, there are people out there that you're never going to agree with fully. Nobody is you're going to agree with 100%, not even me, right? So you have to use that and go, okay, shit. I'm going to learn what I can from this person and this person and this person and advance my life. Not everyone thinks SEO is the best way to make money online. It's delayed gratification times 1,000. Okay. Whatever you do now is going to start working about a year to a year and a half from now, sometimes longer. YouTube can work several months later. My channel right now is just starting to get moving. And I've been doing it for like a month. Okay. And it's discouraging sometimes, but that's what I'm good at. And now I'm going to be doing SEO consulting. Okay. Moving forward, I'm going to be doing that more. It's just, all I'm telling you guys is you guys need to use the information out there that you see, apply it to your life. And if it does, and ask yourself this every time you do something or learn something new or apply a new thing, is it working for you? Is this working for me? Most of you are broke, living paycheck to paycheck. That ain't working for you. Okay, try SEO. Okay? Now that's delayed gratification times 100. So maybe you want to do a couple other side hustles at the same time, but make sure you put in work to SEO. Okay, great. Do drop shipping, right? Is that working for you? Did you try everything? Did you get a coach? Did you do it for at least 6 months? Like, guys, this is what's wrong with guys today is they want their hands held, and because they had nobody teach them that you have to do shit and on your own sometimes. And that's what Tate was teaching people. Get off your ass and put the fucking work in. Go to the gym, have a great body. That will start a lot of things for you. Confidence. I've been confident for years. That's why I don't care about being 6-pack all the fucking time, because I'm confident no matter where I go. I don't give a fuck, right? I can have a conversation with people and they can feel that energy because I try to make them feel good about themselves. Oh, that's a nice fucking shirt you're wearing there, bro. Good up. You look good in that, right? I like your shoes, right? Complimenting people, making them feel good about themselves. Because I learned this, every single time that you're around somebody, try to make them feel good. Dale Carnegie shit. That's How to Win Friends and Influence People shit, right? I tried to get somebody to read that book once and they didn't like the audiobook voice. I was like, man, you're fucking pathetic, bro. And see, that's what I mean. Do you really, I question this sometimes with guys. Do you really want to get better? Do you really want to? Or do you just want to whine? Because it's a decision. That's all it is. It's a decision.
The exploitation of loneliness is how incels came to be one of the most damaging movements in modern times. And in no way, shape, or form, I don't want it to come across like I'm saying it has nothing to do with you, because it does. As a man, it does have something to do with you. But at the same time, it also has something to do with women. I think both genders play a role, and I don't think it's fair to then say that men are the sole reason of singleness. There's a lot of women who are single too, so. Responding to the article via Twitter are a number of men who insist that women are too picky and have double standards. They claim that they actually have great personalities and women just don't want to date them because they aren't good looking. Which, it's not all about being good looking. I think appearance plays a role in attraction, obviously, but I don't think it's everything. You have to have a good personality. You have to have something going for you. If you want to be with this amazing, incredible, supportive, kind, beautiful woman, why would she want to date a guy who doesn't take care of himself, who isn't making any money, who is lazy, who has no drive, who has no work ethic, and isn't doing anything with his life? Why would she want to date a guy like that? She wouldn't. So it's also about taking accountability for yourself, understanding where you fall short and how you can be better, because no one else is going to do that for you.
Which I just ranted about.
You. No one's going to come save you. You have to do it for yourself. So I'm not trying to say that all the blame should be placed on women, because I don't think that that's fair either. I think you have to see where you stand in the race of dating. You know, if dating was a race where everyone was running around, where are you? Are you at a point in the race where you could get the girl that you want? If not, what can you do to get there? How can you start to be someone that the person you want to be with would also want to be with? Be what you want to attract. I think that's important. But again, I do think that there are women out there who have very unrealistic standards for men, and I think that that should be taken into consideration. In general here, I have been advocating for healthy, happy, mature relationships since the start of my channel. I don't do the dating game bullcrap. I don't do the toxic manipulation. Most of the manipulation toxic videos I have reacted to on this channel have been made by women, talking about how to manipulate men, how to be toxic with men, how to make him do this and this. And so how can you look at all that and not say that women are playing a role in the toxicity and manipulation that is happening in modern day dating? The proof's in the pudding. Oh, this also says that men are saying women are just too complicated. These same men will proclaim, ignoring the dozens of women telling them exactly how they want to be treated with respect, dignity, and tenderness. Yeah, you know, I get a lot of men telling me, you know, you don't know what women want. Don't take dating advice from a woman. Don't ask a fish how to catch a fish. But what I'm telling you is from the perspective that a lot of women want to be caught. You know, if the don't ask a fish how to catch a fish thing was true, it would mean that women don't want to be caught, but they do. A lot of women do. And I'm telling you how to do that on this channel in a respectful and kind way. And that's not always going to resonate with every woman out there. Maybe a woman's not looking for a great guy and wants a guy who's emotionally unavailable, who's going to screw her over and cheat on her and do all this crap. And in that case, you're just weeding people out by being mature, by being healthy, and by not playing all these toxic manipulation mind games that I see so commonly on TikTok and all these things now. So moral of the story here, just to wrap things up, I think men and women both need to recognize the role that they play and really take accountability and understand, you know, am I being too picky? Are my expectations that I have for men too unrealistic? Do I really care if he's over 6 feet, if he checks off every other box on my list? If the answer is yes, you're a little unrealistic. And that's okay, but you just have to realize it and try to work through it, okay? Same with men. You know, if you're like, I don't understand why I'm not getting the girl of my dreams, I want to date this supermodel, and you don't have a job, you're overweight, you don't put any effort into the way that you look or you feel on the inside or the way that you treat women, what makes you think you're gonna get the woman of your dreams? If you're in my comment section making disgusting comments towards me, calling me a bimbo, telling me I'm the worst person on the planet, when I'm trying to help you, how are you treating women who aren't trying to help you? Just a thought. So anyway, I leave you with that. I would love to hear what you...
That's another thing that bugs me about people, right? Yeah, and I see toxicity everywhere. You know what I mean? Well, I have to look for it, to be quite honest with you. Most people that are toxic or weirdos, I just delete them or ban them from the comments. But that's a good point, right? Because a lot of dudes they're following everything to the 100th degree when it comes to like red pill stuff, for example. So they start just treating women like shit, right? Without any actual reasoning, right? And it's because they're mad. They're mad because they went through some shit and they still haven't learned from it. They still haven't, you know, gotten to the point where they're like, yo, you know, okay, maybe a lot of it was me. You do have to take accountability for the women that you chose, like I did. I kept choosing shitty women. So I was like, why the fuck am I choosing? What am I doing? Right? Instead of getting mad at all women, I was just like, oh fuck, maybe I'm choosing shitty women. Okay. And then I would see my friends in relationships with good women. I'm like, why the fuck can't I have that? And that was years and years ago. Right. And then I finally realized it was me. If the first place you should diagnose is yourself. So what I always tell guys to do is read some fucking books. You don't have to read books forever. But take the information and learn and go, okay, I'm going to do this and apply this. But most guys, see, I'm not going to say most guys. It's actually a very small percentage of guys that are going to be doing shit like that, posting comments on somebody's YouTube. Like I want to point this out to you. There are people that will sit here for 20 to 30 minutes typing a comment and having a comment war, okay, with somebody on YouTube. And I'm like, okay, in 20 to 30 minutes, I could literally put up a video on a blog or a blog post, depending on what it's about, and make money from it. A social media post for some people who are doing social media marketing, shit like that. You guys could have a cold call with somebody in 20 to 30 minutes to get some business. But see, people, again, are identified with their anger and their grief and their resentment and their shame and their guilt. Again, that fucking Hawkins scale of consciousness. You guys know what I'm talking about. All right. And people want to project that onto others and make other people feel like that. And that's just wrong. You're stupid. And that's why a lot of people need to focus on their purpose. So if you're like that, stop. Just stop. Stop the negative behavior and start doing more shit. That's why, to me, in my personal opinion, that's where real depression comes from. You're not doing enough. You're not doing enough to contribute. For me, I'm overwhelmed most of the time. So I do too much, right? So anyway, let's finish up this video.
You guys think in the comments down below. If you like this video or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. Be what you want to attract, guys. Look inward, take the accountability with yourself, but also know that there are girls out there that just will not like you sometimes because of very surface level, shallow things. The same way, you know, Men might not like women because of surface level shallow things. So what I want you all to do is make sure that you are taking accountability over your life and yourself, putting your best foot forward, being the best that you can be. My channel is a one-stop shop for literally all that, from grooming to fashion to being a better you on the inside to gaining confidence, believing in yourself. I cover legitimately everything you need to start working on yourself and seeing the potential that you have. I think every good relationship starts when you have a good relationship with yourself first. And sadly, I don't think a lot of people have that, men and women. And I think that's another thing that's causing a lot of issues today. So again, let me know what you think down below. I would love to get a conversation going. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me over on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys over on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.
So, when it comes to the article, guys, right? In my opinion, literally one side of the equation is completely left out, which is bullshit, and that's why this video is important. And again, like I said, men's mental health is super important to me, and I will always advocate for men becoming stronger and better in this world that we live in today, where everybody's just taking a gigantic dump all over men. So I love you guys. Work on yourselves and make it happen.